Welcome to Loud History. Today we dive into a story that will take your breath away. A tale of courage, exploration, and heartbreaking tragedy deep within the earth at Cueva Cheve in 1991. Have you ever wondered what drives someone to venture into the unknown, risking everything for the thrill of discovery? Nestled high in the rugged mountains of northwest Oaxaca, Mexico, Cueva Cheve looms at 858 feet above sea level. It's one of the deepest caves on Earth, a labyrinth of darkness that whispers promises of secrets untold. Every year, the world's most skilled cavers are drawn to its depths, hungry to test their limits and uncover what lies beneath. For those brave enough to enter Cueva Cheve is a paradox, a place of breathtaking beauty and unrelenting danger. In late February 1991, a team of 14 elite cavers arrived at its entrance. Their mission clear yet daunting: to reach and explore a sump and underwater passage buried deep within the cave's uncharted reaches. You might be asking what kind of person takes on such a challenge. These were no amateurs. Peter Haberland, Peter Boston, Christopher Yeager, and their teammates were seasoned explorers, each with years of experience navigating the world's most treacherous caves. Their journey demanded descending 115 vertical drops, rigging ropes to shield themselves from razor-sharp rocks that could tear through skin in an instant. Rebelay's mid-air anchor points forced them to unclip and reclip their gear while dangling hundreds of feet above the abyss. One wrong move could spell disaster, and they knew it. By February 25th, 6 cavers had reached Camp 2, a staggering 2,790 feet below the surface. Over the next few days, the team rotated, hauling supplies through narrow, suffocating passages to sustain their push deeper. The work was brutal, every step a test of endurance, every breath a reminder of the darkness closing in. On March 1st, Peter Haberland re-entered the cave alongside Peter Boston, James Brown, who nursed a shoulder injury, and Christopher Yeager, who'd recently fought off illness. They staggered their descent to avoid clogging the cave's tight corridors, a strategy born of necessity. Haberland and Yeager pressed forward together, navigating the slick, twisting shafts of Saknasim's Well, a name that evokes the eerie depths of Jules Verne's imagination. As they ventured deeper, the cave tightened its grip, the walls closing in like a vice. At one point, Yeager fumbled his rappel rack, a critical tool for controlling descent, and watched it clatter into the darkness below. It was a simple mistake, the kind anyone could make right. But in Cueva Cheve, even the smallest slip could unravel everything. Haberland, calm and professional, handed Yeager his own rack, allowing him to retrieve the lost equipment. Yet that moment lingered, a crack in their confidence as they pressed on. By evening, they neared Camp 2, threading through a maze of dry passages that twisted like a spider's web. They'd briefly lost their way, but persistence led them to the final descent, a 2-pitch drop into the East Gorge. The first pitch was the sloping 33-foot descent to a Rebelay. The second, a 75-foot free-hanging plunge into the void. Haberland took the lead, his movements precise as he tackled the awkward Rebelay anchor low on the wall. He reached the bottom and shouted up to Yeager that the line was clear. Then the cave turned silent until a rock tumbled loose, followed by a gust of wind and a chilling thud. Haberland called out again, his voice echoing unanswered through the gorge. Heart pounding, he peered over the edge, and what he saw stole the breath from his lungs. There, in a shallow pool below, lay Christopher Yeager, his body crumpled and still. His leg bent at an impossible angle, his helmet skewed, his pack pinning him beneath the surface. Fear surged through Haberland, but panic wasn't an option, not yet. He rappelled down swiftly, desperate to reach his friend, praying for a miracle. Kneeling beside Yeager, he gently turned his head to keep him from drowning, searching for any sign of life. There was none, no pulse, no movement, just the stillness of the cave pressing in. What had gone wrong? Overwhelmed but driven, Haberland sprinted to Camp 2 in just 15 minutes, a distance that should have taken far longer, his mind racing with hope and dread. Boston and Brown met him there, and together they grabbed gear and bolted back to Yeager's side. When they arrived, the scene was grim. Yeager's face, pale, blood seeping from his nose, his body unresponsive. Boston checked for a pulse, nothing. They pulled him from the water, wrapped him in a sleeping bag, and began CPR, pouring every ounce of strength into saving him. Each forced breath gurgled in his chest, a haunting sound that echoed off the cave walls. Minutes dragged on, 5, 10, 20, until the truth became undeniable. His body swelled, his pupils fixed and lifeless under a flashlight's glare. Christopher Yeager was gone. But here's where the story takes a twist. Some records confuse the names, suggesting Peter Haberland was the victim. The truth is, Haberland survived a key figure in this expedition while Yeager paid the ultimate price. So what really happened that day? On March 1st, 1991, Yeager was rappelling a 23-meter drop when something went catastrophically wrong. Reports suggest a rigging error or a lapse in focus caused him to plummet to the cave floor below. The impact was devastating, his body broken beyond repair in an instant. Haberland and the team were left reeling, their mission shattered by loss. You might wonder, how does a team recover from something like that? The immediate aftermath was chaos, grief, shock, and the daunting reality of being miles underground. Retrieving Yeager's body was no simple task. The cave's depth and complexity made it a logistical nightmare. After agonizing debate, they made a heart-wrenching choice to leave him there buried in a passage near the fall site. Haberland, who'd been so close to Yeager, carried the weight of that decision like a stone in his chest. Can you imagine the pain of leaving a friend behind in such a place? But the story doesn't end there. Nearly a year later, on February 8, 1992, Yeager's caving friends returned, their mission to bring him home no matter the cost. Using pulleys and sheer willpower, they hauled Yeager's remains from the cave's depths, a Herculean feat. Finally, he was returned to his family in Indiana, offering closure after months of anguish. The caving community felt the ripples of this tragedy. Yeager's death was a stark reminder of the risks they faced. So what caused Yeager's fatal fall? Scientifically, rappelling accidents often stem from equipment failure, human error, or environmental factors. In Yeager's case, the exact trigger remains uncertain. Perhaps a knot slipped or fatigue dulled his focus. Caving demands precision. Rigging must be flawless, every move calculated. A single misstep at 23 meters can generate a fall speed of about 21 meters per second, impact forces the body can't withstand. The cave itself amplifies the danger: sharp rocks, wet surfaces, and unpredictable shifts in structure. Could better safety measures have saved him? Post-tragedy, the caving community tightened protocols, more rigorous gear checks, enhanced training. Communication, too, is vital. Clear signals can prevent missteps in the chaos of a cave. Psychologically, the toll is immense. Survivors like Haberland faced grief that lingered long after. Yet caves like Cueva Cheve yield wonders: geological insights, rare ecosystems, making the risks worth it to some. Haberland and his peers pressed on their resolve, forged in Yeager's memory. Today, Cueva Cheve stands as a monument to both triumph and tragedy, its depth still calling to the brave. What drives someone to face such peril for discovery? This story of Peter Haberland, Christopher Yeager, and Cueva Cheve is a testament to human daring and the price it can exact. Thank you for joining us on this descent into history. Hit like, share, and subscribe to Loud History for more.